This is my two favorite librarians. I'm Denise Corey.
And I'm Chantel Taylor, and today we're talking about scary books.
Scary books.
Halloween.
I love scary books.
It's coming.
Yeah. So, you read the scariest books ever.
I have been a little obsessed with true crime this year.
True crime to me is more terrifying than any horror story.
And I'm totally the opposite. Like, zombies terrify me. The idea of The Walking Dead scares the absolute stuff out of me. I just can't even with that.
Yet, you will read about a serial killer.
Yeah. Now, I have been kind of not reading as much and listening as much. I feel like, I don't know, like, why are we all obsessed with true crime? I don't know. I'm pulling back a little on the true crime.
It's very, very scary to me.
But I will not be increasing my, like, horror reading in its absence.
I like a good horror story, and I think it's because it's not real. Like, I'll read about zombies or werewolves or vampires because I really don't believe that one is going to come in my house.
I just don't know if I believe that. I mean, I don't know if zombies... I don't know scientifically that they can't actually happen, that some person somewhere isn't going to do some weird thing that's going to turn us all into zombies.
The Oatmeal has a really great comic strip on that, and I think it's in his book 5 Very Good Reasons to Punch a Dolphin in the Face. That is really the name of the book. The author is Matthew Inman, but he publishes his comics online under the name The Oatmeal. It's it's like a scientist feeding a gorilla meat with rabies in it. I don't know. And then it's all about how the zombie apocalypse happens.
It could happen.
Yeah. I love The Oatmeal.
Just prove that.
Yeah. So I just reread Pet Sematary.
So I did read some Stephen King. Not as a child, but...
You need to... I know you can't see this, but she just took a deep breath in, like, to brace herself to be able to talk about this. Are you okay?
It was really disturbing. I don't know what the book was called, but it was the one with the monkey on the front cover.
Oh, yeah.
And it had...
it's like short stories.
Yes, and it had The Fog, and it had another one that they've made.
The Fog was so good.
Yeah, it scared... I can't swear. That's the problem. But it really...
It scared the swear word out of you?
I don't need that in my brain. I can think of enough terrible things on my own without Stephen King being in there with me.
Was that the one with the raft?
Yes.
Oh, yes. The raft was so frightening because there's just some sort of ooze that's in the water that comes up through the boards. Oh,
yeah, I
love that story.
It was, and I read the Tommy Knockers, and again, I was just like, no, why am I reading this?
My favorite one by him is The Stand.
I did not read that. That's
There's like a pandemic, and
I was thinking Under the Dome, but that's not.
No, Under the Dome. I didn't. Under the Dome didn't really do it for me. So Pet Sematary, I just reread.
I saw the movie.
So the premise is this family moves in to this lovely house on the side of a very, very busy road. And in behind their house, way in behind, is a pet cemetery. And in behind that is an ancient burial ground that brings things back from the dead.
Are they remaking Pet Sematary? I feel like I've heard recently that they're remaking the movie.
They're making something of Stephen King's, and they're doing it in Nova Scotia. I feel like it's Windsor, maybe. So I'm really excited about that. Maybe he'll come visit. I love some Stephen King. I went to his house 2 summers ago.
You weren't invited.
I wasn't invited. No. But his house is like a tourist attraction in Bangor. It's like the gates all have bats on them. It's this big old creepy gothic house. I felt bad though. I wanted to see his house because I'm a big fan, but at the same time, it's like how much you have no privacy. Anyway, Pet Sematary, I didn't find it super scary. I know some people do. I find it mostly to be a book about bad decision making.
Yes.
Bad decision making all around.
I did watch a lot of those Stephen King movies like in the 80s when they were really making
Yeah.
everything. And I will say to this day, Maximum Overdrive, that's Stephen King, right?
Yeah,
Where
yes,
all
it
of
is.
the like appliances and
Machinery
technology comes to life. Every time I turn on my hairdryer, I see that scene of the hairdryer attacking the person, and I'm just like, oh, the hairdryer.
I've neither read nor watched that.
Because it was an all AC/DC soundtrack.
Yes,
Emilio Estevez was starring.
Yes.
We should do a movie weekend. Maximum Overdrive. I won't be able to watch it.
Oh, yeah, we
Hairdryer's
should.
still scaring me.
We should, for Halloween, we should do a
Yeah.
movie weekend. Last year on Halloween, when I was at home giving out treats to the kids, and I was playing horror movies on my from Netflix, and yeah, I watched like a Sharknado. I guess horror should be in quotation marks.
Yeah.
Sharknado is not
Horror that movie was made.
Yeah. We actually have a book at the library called How to Survive a Sharknado.
Yes.
I haven't read it. I really want to. I also just took out from the library the Where Evil Dwells anthology. It's Nova Scotian authors who write short horror stories. There's Bruce Graham, and there's Steve Vernon, and there is Laurie Glenn Norris. She's a very
yes.
local author. So
Darren Greer.
Yeah, Darren Greer, although he moved to Toronto, so
Did he?
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, deserted
I am
us.
currently reading, not that I'm putting this in my what am I reading, but I am reading a horror graphic novel right now.
Really?
Rereading a horror graphic novel. I am reading The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Oh, I loved it.
I don't know if I will pronounce this author. I have it like phonetically spelled.
Yeah.
So I can. It's Roberto Aguirre Sacasa.
I think that's close.
And it's basically a remake of like Sabrina the Teenage Witch from the Archie comics.
But so much darker. Oh,
It's a
it's so
spin-off
dark. It is
of-
not a book
No.
for the children.
No, it is not.
It is dark.
It's a spin-off of the Afterlife Archie series, which they came out with a couple of years ago, in which it's like zombie Archie, and they have like Archie versus Predator, like these kind of weird alternate universe Archies.
I haven't read Archie versus Predator, but the Archie zombie one, I read the first two of those. And yeah. What was Jughead's dog?
Oh, I never read Archie
Hot
as a
dog?
kid. Maybe?
Yeah, he gets bit by something. It's not good.
But The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, I read it when I was doing my graphic novel series earlier in the year, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm rereading it. The second volume, I think, is about to come out in October or November, and
very
Netflix
excited.
is doing a Chilling Adventures of Sabrina series after the success of Riverdale on Netflix as
It's
well.
so much darker than Sabrina the
Yes.
Teenage Witch because her mother and aunt, or her aunts.
No, her two aunts, because it's
Yeah.
still Hilda and Zelda. But
Yeah.
they're like evil witches, and they like kidnap
worship
her.
Satan. It's
Yeah.
very dark.
And her father is like trapped in a tree, and they trick her mother, or they do something to her mother that she's like in an insane asylum and trying to get out to get to her daughter. So
Yeah.
it's very
Dark.
different from like Melissa Joan Hart.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed
Yeah.
it. I enjoyed it.
So what are you? I know you said that's your scary thing you're reading. What else are you reading?
On the flip side of that, I'm currently also reading Lady Isabel's Scandalous Marriage.
That seems not at all scary.
No. But it's a couple of weeks ago, I think I mentioned I read The Madness of Lord Ian Mackenzie. Mm-hmm. That was a Sarah McLean recommendation from her list. She
Yes.
is a romance author. And this is the second book in the series. I really loved the I can't even remember what
What the first book
madness.
was?
The madness. The madness. There's like 4 brothers, so each book in the series is a brother.
Why do they do that? That seems to be.
love that. I love getting to see everybody from different sides. I love going into a town and they like randomly introduce people. That's one of my favorite things about romances.
It's like your Beard books. They all of the
Yes.
brothers and then the sister all had a
Yeah.
book.
I love it. Love it. What are you reading?
I am reading Tiger by Johanna Skibsrud. I don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
We're sorry.
I should know how to do that because her debut novel a few years ago won the Scotiabank Giller Prize. She wrote The Sentimentalist.
Oh.
And it was such a big deal that it was this debut novel, and it was like a really small press, and they had to get another publisher to publish it because they just couldn't keep up with the demand.
Wow.
So this is a book of short stories, and sometimes you just want a short story, right? You just don't necessarily have time to devote to a whole novel.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to be able to flip through like
Yeah.
a story a night. Like maybe you're just like a bedtime reader and you just want like 5 minutes before you fall off to sleep.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily want to have to remember.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to do some short stories. You know what's happening this week?
Well, not this week, but
This week?
Halloween parties?
No, this week, Leslie Crew is coming October 18th,
Yes, she is.
Thursday night, 7 o'clock.
Amherst Library.
I'm so excited.
But to go along with our theme, Halloween parties will be happening at the
Halloween
library
party.
all this month. Check our calendar events, call your local public library, and they'll tell you when they are.
Yeah, that's fun for the kids.
It is very fun. We didn't talk about kids like scary. Well, they're not that scary, but like
Yeah.
we didn't talk about kids.
It's fun for us when there are Halloween parties too. I love seeing the kids come in costumes.
Some of them are delightful.
Some of them are delightful. I especially love, there's one kid that's coming in now that wears like a sparkly unicorn backpack, and
Yes.
I'm just like, oh, I want that so bad.
You could have it. It's probably at Chapters.
Yeah, probably. I feel like maybe I'm a bit old for that.
Really?
No.
I didn't think so.
I have no idea what we're talking about next week.
You know what? I don't think we picked something for next
Yeah.
week.
I guess we'll just make it up. Well, you can tell us what you want us to talk about on the Facebook, the Twitter, or the Instagram. Like, send us through a message or critique our reading
Maybe don't.
choices.
Maybe don't critique. I don't want to hear your romance complaints.
Or
I read to be
encourage
happy.
or encourage people to read different books. We like reading. And you can find all of our social media handles on our website.
www.cumberlandpubliclibraries.ca.
I'm making Chantel do it because she makes fun of me. See you next week.
Bye.